Let's go. And I will have to admit that I have so much confidence in this series and my retention of this show that I'm going in blind on this one. I only pre-screened G1 for any kind of conversation. So any kind of commentary that I have or any rebuttals that I have for Nick are completely off the cuff because I have
okay.
I have
Gen Wars.
Hello, this is
Hi.
Gen Wars. We're
Yes.
watching Transformers Generation 1 in a combative conversation. Thank you for sticking around and seeing all the previous content. And if you haven't, there's lots of episodes because we are watching every episode of G1's Transformers and comparing it to Beast Wars, the Millennial introduction to Transformers. So this is the Gen X versus the Millennials, the filthy, dirty, no good Millennials. And I have Nick from Fire Hazard 508 Creations. He's here. How you doing?
Yes. Doing good. We had a little bit of a life break and from the show for a while, work and projects and whatnot. As you see, I might be playing some games over on Funky Games, so we're getting a little blasphemous going. And then I get to go razz Steven while he plays a little Pokemon Scarlet and whatnot. So we've been juggling a lot of things.
Lots going on. Nick has
this
been
kinda got
reviewing
pushed to the
G.I.
side for a minute.
Joes, all that good stuff. Yeah, but we're here.
And then all my G.I. Joes, but we're gonna get back into it now.
We're into it, and so we are on episode 4 of
Episode 4, correct.
G1 Transformers, and Nick has included the lovely links that you can watch along with us. So we highly recommend you watch the episode along with us. We're putting it all out there because we want the honest, reaction to these two IPs that are really trying to bring in audiences to the Transformers line. So we're doing a lot of debate and discussion on the merits of the shows, so we want you involved. Make sure you like and subscribe. Put down in the comments your opinions on all things Transformers. Tell us we're wrong. That's our favorite thing. When we're wrong, we want to know about it. So tell us how we're goofing up in the comments below. So we appreciate that. Nick, give us the countdown.
All right, everybody pull up your episode 4, G1. Let's go on go. How about that? So I'll go 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Ready?
I'm here for it.
3, 2, 1, go.
I will say, just right out the gates, I really miss the airbrush aesthetic from this era, and it even goes into things like the Star Wars movie posters and stuff. I really, really miss that. I think it's something that's not really emulated too much in modern day, especially with AI art and digital replication of art styles. Something about that airbrush aesthetic just hasn't translated to common era, in my opinion. As much as I've tried.
It kind of got left. It got left behind, it is kind of sad.
Yeah,
it's kind of sad that we didn't carry a lot of that forward. I mean, some of the AI stuff maybe, but other than that, it just kind of got left back then, and that's where it got left.
Something. Left it on the table. We're gonna let this play out, but something I wanted to bring up on the airbrush thing, when you went to the mall, the airbrush T-shirt stops and all that stuff that had the Tweety Bird and Sylvester airbrush shirts.
That's something that got left back in the 90s too.
I miss that. I would love to see that at they don't even do street fests or carnivals or anything like that anymore. I rarely see those going on.
Yeah, I haven't been to anything like that in a while, but I'm assuming there's still an art form of it out there. We just don't see it a lot.
I would want it. Oh, so Cliff Jumper is suffering from PTSD. Is that what we just saw?
A little bit. He's a little jumpy. Also, okay, so in watching this, I was like, how much time has passed? And was one line of dialogue. They said a few months. So a few months had passed from when they shot down Megatron. And what I noticed is Megatron and the guys apparently build a whole city down under the water what their ship is. And this is something I actually wanted to bring up. Okay, we know they're robots. They do their... How much time does it take for them to build stuff? Like, because they're robots, does it take a shorter amount of time to build stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
And also they went down with a significant amount of energon as well. So I'm assuming like they had like the full like nexus of like we're just gonna like hide out down here, get really established, like really set up a like satellite encampment.
It's a whole city.
Yeah.
If we
well, I mean, in comparison to Cybertron, like it's
true.
small.
But it was I stopped it, rewound it, and I was like, wait a minute, was there a full city down there?
Yes. If I remember correctly, there's like a substantial amount of Decepticons. Like there's more Decepticons because you got all the Seekers, I think the Wreckers, and like the core Megatron's like entourage on this ship.
They're in this, well, up to this point, and in this episode, we only see 4 of them. We see Starscream, Megatron, Shockwave, Soundwave. He was the maybe he was his tape, one of his tapes.
Prowler. Well, Skywarp's with them and stuff too, because I'm trying to think back like to the trilogy of episodes.
Yes.
There's like objectively more Decepticons than Autobots in these engagements, even though there seems to be like quite a few Autobots.
We actually have more Autobots in this one. There
Okay.
seems to be less Decepticons. And I was actually curious. I was counting them as they kind of popped up, and I was like, nope, there's only 4. There's only 4 again. Okay, there's 5. Then there's 4 again. I'm like, where are they all?
So
see, this...
perceptively, the Decepticons have taken substantial loss.
Exactly.
Okay.
At least that's what we're led to believe. Or maybe they just didn't... Because I guess we never really... Yeah, I guess they did have a lot of... we never saw them repair everybody during the big fight in the first one. In the first set of 3 episodes.
Okay, yeah, so
I guess it would be the first episode.
There's 2, so we've definitely got Skywarp and 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then there's Soundwave is there.
Yeah.
And then there's one other, and I mean, if you want to count Ravage and, what's the bird's name? Why can't I think of...
Laserbeak.
Laserbeak, thank you.
This is supposed to be your fight. This is your...
I know, I was like, wait a minute. Well, this also, like, I keep getting Ironhide and Ratchet mixed up, because in the Bayverse movies, Ironhide looks completely different, and this one it's red and white, and figure out which one it is.
Definitely a product of the time, but I love how recolors have been adapted, like in newer IPs, especially the Bayformers do a great job in character design. I don't think anyone ever has a problem with character design as far as look and feel of the Bayverse characters.
I think there was a lot of like a pushback as to these are very simple designs where he went over the top. Every I guess we're putting them in the real world, so it's a real car, so it has a lot of real hoses and tubes and pipes and stuff. So all of that has to kind of move and adjust with them.
Yeah, I actually got to meet one of the concept designers for the Bayverse Transformers when I was at university, and it was really cool. He did a lot of the... I believe he did Ironhide and the Dinobots at the time. I need to go back and see if I can find it, and Nick will put it up if I can find him. I can't remember his name.
The Dinobots from the 4th movie or whatever it was?
Or something like that. But at the time, that hadn't been released yet, so he was just like really kind of showing us early stage stuff, and it was a private environment, and like I definitely don't want him getting in trouble for like NDA stuff. Not that it matters
it was, like,
now.
the NDA you
Yeah.
signed.
But he was showing us his private portfolio and his like layered like arts and stuff, and it was really cool. And the amount of
that's pretty
effort
awesome.
that continues to go into the cinematic Transformer designs, like I'm all about. I'm not here for the simplicity, and then maybe that's kind of where like the divide of generations comes through. But these simple designs have not aged well. Where if you go back and look at the Bayformers designs, it's been 10 years plus, 15 years almost.
Has it
They
been that
hold
long?
up really good. Yeah, because didn't the first... Because I remember, I think Dark of the Moon came out in 2010, because the Linkin Park song is 10 years old. I don't know.
I don't know. We have to do
Yeah,
some
it's been a hot
research on that.
minute. Fact checking, Nick. Just like you can check out the Funky store, funky.store. I'm gonna plug
down
this
there.
domain. You check that out. We got cool merch there, like the I Need Healing T-shirt. It's a new season of Overwatch. I'm sure if you're watching this at release. So you need some cool shirts to commemorate the time. So funky.store, check that out.
Something I wanted to bring up here, and this is kind of a through line, or not a through line, but a thing I was noticing with both of these episodes is that Optimus is very irresponsible in both of these episodes. He sends Spike off on a mission with Bumblebee to go spy on them. He's a human being. Like, he's going to get smushed.
Well, I will say that kind of the arc of the first 3 episodes, or the Transformers like initial movie set, was about Optimus treating the humans as equals and seeing them as like allies, like true allies. So I don't have as much qualm with Optimus's characters as in trusting the humans to carry out missions, because they're kind of opting into it. It's like, I mean, we've given you plenty outs.
I mean, he's taken both of them to. There's the whole plan starting in this episode is he's taking every. Oh, I went back and rewatched the end of the 3rd episode because I just wanted to make sure I refreshed myself. But they're taking the 2 of them to Cybertron.
Yeah,
Spike's going to Cybertron. Like that's the start of this
that's his
episode
goal.
yeah, they were like, yeah, we can come with us, no problem. And I was like, I don't know how well you'll fare on Cybertron, but
Right.
it'll be interesting.
Question marks across the board here. Optimus's character in this, because I have his, and we'll probably talk about this in later episodes, so make sure you check those out as they come through. Optimus's character is so ethereal as far as like in this series and in later movies and series as well. I think that like quote unquote humanizes him a little bit. Is just like he questions his own leadership, and like he's never quite sure, and he makes mistakes. I think that's interesting, but I think critics today look at like, oh, like Optimus wouldn't do that when he like beheads characters in the movies and stuff, and just like completely like is like self-defeatist, specifically in the Bumblebee movie and in the Beast Wars movies, where he's like, I trapped my people here and I'm going to be kind of like a brooding aggro leader. Some of that comes through here in like the early depictions of Optimus, is like he has a lot of flaws.
Flagellation that we talked about in Blasphemous.
It's Blasphemous, yeah. You can watch. It's on the channel. You can check out Blasphemous. We're really plugging here in this little first set, but I just find that interesting, and maybe like recency bias comes through. With the original Bayformers, like Transformer, I don't. Does the first Bayformers movie have a subtitle? I think it was just Transformers.
I think it was just called Transformers. Yeah.
Optimus's character is the most stoic and one-dimensional in that movie, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, he's pretty one-dimensional in that
And
movie.
I think people really latched onto it. It's like that's my ideal Ice Optimus. Where I think
we
that's
had
like
so much to work. We had so much to work from. Mm-hmm. You know, we had four plus seasons of that.
Yeah.
This maybe four. I think there was 4 seasons, and then Beast Wars, and so you kind of.
Well, Beast Wars is...
They had a lot to
technically,
kind of
that
choose
is
from.
not Optimus. That is Optimus Primal, a completely different being.
The idea of Optimus. They
Right,
had
yes.
all of this to work from.
A prime.
Yes, a prime. Exactly.
Yeah, there seems to be an expectation of a prime. Definitely when we go into the War Cybertron series, which I definitely want to cover. The War Cybertron
is that
Optimus Prime.
Was that a... What was that? Was that a cartoon? Because I played the video games, but I don't know if it was a cartoon or if it was like what it was beyond the video games.
It was supposed to be a multimedia experience, so there was like the video games, I think there's comics, and the Netflix series, or micro series. I think it's only like 4 or 5 episodes, or like 3 arcs.
Okay.
Super good.
No, I never watched that. I only played the video games that had come out.
I think it's the best Transformers consumed media.
Okay.
I think I'll stand on that. I think I would take several hits on that hill. That's the best way to kind of get into Transformers.
Well, again, they had this to springboard into that.
Well, they cover a lot.
And the comic books, too, so they were able to kind of grab all of that media and put it together into one package.
Yeah, because I find it really funny, and I think that's kind of like the foundation that we're building this experiment on with Gen Wars is G1 Transformers and Beast Wars has really set a lot of precedents for current era medium because they tackle it in the Netflix series and they tackle it in the cinematic universe. So like, and there's a lot more. There's Armada, there's Energon, there's Prime, the Prime series, and all those, and Allspark is the new Nickelodeon one. I haven't gotten into that at all, but everything really does circle back to how timeless this original couple of sets are, and how much of a foundation they've set.
Yeah, they've been able to flush that story and really refine it over the years. If we're going to also add in Beast Wars into those things, just to the whole Transformers as a whole. Obviously, we're going to do the Rise of the Beasts movie, which I still haven't watched yet as of this recording, but we know it's coming, so it's on the docket. This right here where they trick them to go into the cave. They don't have a way out of the cave. There is no. It's a very poor plan.
You're right. They didn't show up behind them after they got so far in. Like they
lured them into the cave.
They're even
shot the cave door, and they were like, "Haha! You're trapped in here forever." And you're like, "What about you? You're trapped in here forever too."
Right. And we're still seeing only the same 4 characters.
Yep. Yeah. There's no. Actually, when the Decepticons leave the cave, there's one other Decepticon that we haven't seen throughout this whole episode, and I don't remember who it is. Maybe it's Rumble.
Okay.
But we don't see him come out of Soundwave here, so I'm not quite sure who it was.
I hate this net. This net triggers me.
What?
They keep using these mechanical nets when they should be like energy nets, in my opinion. I think they used energy nets earlier on. Like this coin purse net really pissed me off for no reason when I was watching it. I was like,
Nana's coin purse.
Yeah, I was just like, what the... How does that work? I don't like that. I didn't like it at all. And they even gave it like the settling metallic sound, like it would, like they really fleshed out this mechanic.
Clunks to the ground like it's a big metal object.
It makes me unreasonably mad, and I'm accepting that as my own thing, but I don't know. And also there's an over reliance on physical mechanics when it's just like make it an energy axe, make it an energy mace, make it an energy net.
Yeah.
Like
Optimus has got the energy axe, but then Megatron's got a saw blade in his hand.
Yeah, and then another gun, more
and then
gun.
another gun.
I like that as Megatron's character. It's like, I'm just a gun, but also more guns. I like that. But
guns everywhere.
it's kind of loose on when it's implemented. Earlier in the episode where he just gut checks Optimus, and he has his gun up in the mix, like his full arm cannon, and doesn't
use it.
Doesn't fire it.
No,
confuses me.
It's only in certain instances.
Right. Just like the flying, selective, just soaring off into space kind of thing, but also.
And then so here, they got to shoot their own way out of the cave that they just collapsed to. Oh, okay, so it's right here where we see.
Oh yeah.
I
think it's like the full
Rumble.
Seeker Squad, maybe.
Maybe I don't know off the top of my head. I'm sure if you know who that is, comments. I'm sure I'll find out. And then here you go. Go into gun mode to shoot down the cave again.
Right. Well, it also makes me mad because Megatron. Well, also no lip flap, but that's okay.
Yeah, they
budget.
left him just with his mouth open.
But they just shot their way out through a similar rubble pile, and they're like,
Yes.
they're trapped forever. They're absolutely hosed. Can't do anything now. We've trapped them forever. We win.
They didn't take any of their guns. They didn't do anything. They just left them in the cave like they don't have their guns and can't shoot their own way out.
Right. Because Starscream shot out. So, there could have been a way where it's like Megatron has to be in gun mode to overpower the rocks. Like, there's this,
Absolutely.
inception that his alt mode is just infinitely more powerful than a normal Transformer can blast through. Cool, I'll buy into that. But that's what they did. They didn't do it.
Yeah.
Kind of,
Yeah.
I guess. Barely.
Kind of.
Oh my god, an energy net. That's crazy.
Which I don't even know who would have set that up.
Right.
I
guess Soundwave, yeah.
But yeah, that's where what they should be doing is energy things.
Yes. Just
Even in the it was like the third episode when Mirage actually blows up the Decepticon plane or jet. He floats down on a hard metal parachute. One would assume that he could make some sort of energy parachute. It literally clunks to the ground. It doesn't fold on itself or anything.
right.
There's also a shot up here where they screw up and have two Starscreams for multiple shots.
Oh no.
They didn't recolor them. It's supposed to be Skywarp or whoever that is.
Right. One of the other Seekers.
Yeah.
Oh lord. Oh great heavens.
Yeah, they step into frame and you're like, oh, oops, someone screwed up.
Oopsie poo.
This was also very interesting that he has a multiple, the most perfect sniper shot.
Yeah, oh my god, that's some
cannon.
precision marksmanship there.
Precision of marksmanship.
I also have to question that they had a ship that really looks like the original alt forms for a lot of the Transformers.
Which ship are we talking about?
The one that the capsule that they were going to take into the Sky Bridge that just exploded there.
Oh, on Cybertron.
Right,
Right here. Look at here's the two Starscreams. Whoops.
Oopsie. I'm the leader because it's me and also Skywalker.
I've duplicated myself. But yeah, then we only see 3 guys leaving, which, I mean, I guess there was only 4, maybe 5 to begin with. So.
Yeah.
This is also something I've noticed a reoccurring thing, and I'm sure it happens more and more, is they'll say, yay, we got rid of him, we killed him. And then Optimus is like, nope, I don't think so.
No.
I don't believe that to
Not
be true.
me.
Every time.
We literally just did that, and and this is where I lean on your experience as far as Hasbro IPs, because I think this happens with like He-Man. Is He-Man Hasbro? I think He-Man is Hasbro as well. He-Man and G.I. Joe.
No, that might be Mattel.
Well, it's all Hasbro now, baby. So
It's all Hasbro.
He-Man, products of the time. He-Man, G.I. Joe, Transformers. It feels like an intentional,
Mattel.
like gimmicky aesthetic. Well, Mattel's owned by Hasbro now. Yes? Question mark?
Are they?
Pretty sure.
know.
Pretty sure.
Is Mattel owned by Hasbro? Hasbro made an offer, takeover offer for Mattel. Mattel was worth. Mattel rejected the offer. No, I
Nope.
think they're
Okay,
still
well.
separate.
For
A
now,
merger between Mattel and Hasbro has been speculated for years, but yeah, so no.
I'm predicting the future. This will age like a fine wine in like 5 or 6 years. So I'll be 100% correct. To me, original G-War Transformers falls into that same really unpolished state that we're seeing here, where like things don't make sense. We got coloring errors, and what makes me mad is that when you look at pieces today, they would never get away with those kind of errors. They would never get away with those kind of story elements and what kind of
Like continuity issues like that?
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you got a lot of eyes working on a project. Like, even when working at the animation studio that I worked at, there was, we'll say, 20 people working on different elements of it, and then we'd all sit in a room together and watch it, and many sets of eyes went on everything, and I was the last line of defense before it went out the door. And so even if I don't know if anything slipped past me, but it very well could have. But for the most part, with all the eyes looking at it, and then my final set of eyes, I was always like, hey, there's this one thing, let's fix that before it goes out the door, so we don't have this product where we have 2 Starscreams. That's not that. It happens twice. That same shot they reused, so you see the same Starscreams walk up, and I'm like, you're reusing shots and you didn't do it right.
Jeez Louise.
What the hell, guys?
Oh my lord.
It was the 80s. It was a different time.
A different time. Speaking of having eyes on stuff, that's the end of the episode. We appreciate you for watching all the way through and watching along with us on this Transformers journey, this generational conflict, the Gen Wars between Generation X and the Millennials. So we appreciate the likes and subscribes, checking out the Funky Store on both channels, Funky Games and Fire Hazard 508 Creations.
Yes.
Nick, sign us off so we can go into the next episode.
Ooh, what do we got next? Oh, that would be a Beast Wars. So, get over to Funky Games and come watch episode 4 with us over there. I can get to slam some Beast Wars. I mean, say nice things about Beast Wars.
Boy,
I love Beast Wars.
The vastly superior product.
The vastly superior Transformers product, as you call it.
Yes, truly. Academy Award winning. Emmy Award. Emmy Award. One of those things. It's award winning piece of television cinema. So check that out, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
See ya.
We are back with Gen Wars, a combative conversation between Gen X and the awful, no good, horrible, downright dastardly millennials. When we're talking about Transformers, we're going to watch Beast Wars episode 4. If you haven't watched all the other content, we're doing a watch along of both Generation 1 Transformers over on Nick's channel. Hey, Nick.
Hi.
He's on Fire Hazard 508 Creations. He makes
That's me.
play things into display things. But today we're talking about Transformers. He's going to give us a little rundown, and we're going to play through this episode 4 of Beast Wars.
But if you haven't watched episode 4 of G1, get over to my channel. Down the bottom, you can see where you're supposed to go. And watch that first, and then come back here. And then watch this. We have a very interesting episode, and I'm going to give us a little countdown so you can watch along. Links are also provided in the description for the places that you can watch them legitimately and not get in trouble for.
Thanks, YouTube, for all that you provide.
Yes, exactly. I'm going to do this on go, and we can get our watch along on. You ready, Steven?
I'm born ready.
All right. So we're going to go and go. So 3, 2, 1, go.
Let's go. And I will have to admit that I have so much confidence in this series and my retention of this show that I'm going in blind on this one. I only pre-screened G1 for any kind of conversation. So any kind of commentary that I have or any rebuttals that I have for Nick are completely off the cuff because I have that confidence that this is the vastly superior product.
Young Steven's memory.
Yes. I will say young Steven watched this a lot. A lot. Okay. This was my sauce, and I did do a fairly recent watch through, probably about 2 years ago, just a rewatch, which kind of kicked off this because we were having conversations about like, Beast Wars is probably better, and then Gen Wars was born.
That's how this whole series came about.
Yeah.
I mean, I did watch G1 a lot as a kid, but when it was only on TV. So it was not in order. It was all over the place. So I caught it when I caught it, and I did not see it from beginning to end. And I have not seen it from beginning to end, I think, ever. I think this is the first time I'm watching it all from beginning to end.
Yeah, and my original experience with Beast Wars was just like catch it on cable when I could, and my most recent watch through was beginning to end, and an entire series that I had not seen before with Beast Machines. So, I'm hot to trot on this show, and then the Beast Wars movies was announced like way after I had finished watching it, and I was like, yes, there's more like me out here that knows the true identity of Transformers and the vastly superior product.
I am excited to watch the Beast War, the Rise of the Beasts. I did watch. We are going to talk about Bumblebee, not in this episode. We're going to do a specifically dedicated episode to Bumblebee and then to Rise of the Beasts. So I'm checking things off my list as we get to them. So we needed to start this back up and get back into this first, and then we were going to get into those movies.
Big groove energy.
This was also quite. When I was watching, they're like, "Hey, be careful! This bomb is going to blow up. Don't be." They're intricately putting it together. It just rolls off, and then Optimus is just tossing it around like it's nothing. He's like, "Yeah, no problem."
Because Optimus Primal is a beast.
He is a beast. This is true. He's got a couple things in this episode that I was like, "Oh, look at that!
Look at that!"
I'll point them out when just some what we talked about in the first episode of him being irresponsible, I guess, or making the irresponsible call. Maybe that's what it is. I guess he didn't know. We'll get to it.
Fledgling leadership.
Yes, exactly. Ooh, I just turned mine up. But yeah, like that leadership call that you're like, I don't know if that was the right call to make, especially once he knows all the information.
Right.
This was a very interesting relationship here that they've been going on between the two of them.
I really enjoy like the Dinobot and Starscream like replacement. Because you look at like Starscream and he seems kind of like a goober, like I'm going to be the leader, and where Dinobot's like, I have legitimate reasons that I think that I am superior in thinking, and like a more cunning version of Starscream, and I really really like that take of that
100%. He is much more. I would say he's much more cunning. Where Starscream is a little, I guess he takes more advantage of the situation, which is actually going to be interesting moving forward now that Megatron's not on planet anymore.
Yes.
That he gets to kind of experience being the leader and what happens with that.
Yeah, like the actual like taste of leadership is coming up, which he hasn't had. He's kind of like goobery, like I'm the leader now. They've died. Megatron is dead, and I'm the leader now. Like this is the first time
they just all make the assumption that he's dead, and not that the thing actually worked, like the transport there.
Right. Well, and like because they've done it like 2 or 3 times already in the 4 episodes, and Megatron's like, no, you fool.
Yeah, they keep killing him off, and it doesn't really. You're like, no, just wait, find out if you actually did it first.
And I really really like the group like dynamics that Transformer has set precedents for going forward in pretty much any sci-fi like ship group setting. So you've got the leader, which has different varying levels of respect. So he's either a new leader and trying to set his way, or like a super veteran leader that everyone is supposed to respect. And then you have like the dissenting, like pseudo like direct report or lieutenant that's like either like shifty or like a usurper of some kind, and then you've got like the new hotshot lieutenant that's like supposed to be a foil.
That would be Cheetor here.
Hotshot, like... Bumblebee, Cheetor.
Yes, true. So I watched the transformation because they showed his transformation in slow motion, and it doesn't make it easier to watch every time. It is just this separation of the body, and he comes, and you're like, oh, it's weird and gross.
They did a great job of interpreting the toys. I really liked, you haven't seen the movie, but the movie does push them more mechanical, and they do it later in Beast Machines and stuff. I would love to see...
somebody else's transformation in a little bit that I got to point out, and it's like I want to hear your opinion on, because I'm assuming you had the toy. When we get to it, I'll point it out. But it's like I said, it doesn't get easier every time you watch it. And I actually did an unboxing of Super 7 had a G.I. Joe of Snake Eyes and Timber package. There was a malfunction in the gluing process of Timber, so when I started to move him, the glue broke loose, and it essentially did what Cheetor did, and just the whole figure separated in the middle. I was like, oh no. So I had to send it back, unfortunately.
Oh, rest in peace.
They're robots. They understand electricity and lightning, but they're running around with these metal rods, or Cheetor's running around with these metal rods and just getting wrecked by lightning repeatedly. And he's like,
the whole episode is about his hubris, and like, I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm a robot. I can exactly like that's Cheetor's arc, is just like accepting his place in life and like kind of like taking it on the chin when his hubris like claps back at him. And that is a trope that we see in sci-fi a lot. It's like the young gun, like hot, like I keep saying hot shot, but that's where the term.
That's what it is.
That's why they called him.
He kept telling him, "Don't go. We don't want." And he's like, "Nah, I got it.
Right, and then Dinobot's just like, "You should totally go," because like.
And now gets zapped again.
Yep.
It's just. And this I found interesting. Like we get this like baseline explanation of this after the fact, but the teleporting, like the lightning just kind of teleports them around, and you're like, I guess. It's not a great explanation. Oh, it's right here. They cheat this animation, this transformation where he just has his wing over and his body just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you had the toy.
Yeah, Pterosaur has... So basically the wings would kind of sit on his back. It's just a fold-over animation. So I think...
Okay.
I would say that Pterosaur was probably the worst adaptation to...
Okay.
Here, they kind of like goof some of it to give him a more humanoid, streamlined look. Basically, a majority of
does.
the pterodactyl form would be on his back. They meld some of it to his arms, which wasn't true. Like his arms and like his human side was kind of like clapped on the back, is essentially. So they kind of like morphed it down. Like his wings weren't like these streamlined hooks and stuff on him. They were just on his back suspended. So I see why they did it for rigging reasons on the 3D model, but it's definitely probably the worst toy to screen adaptation.
I kind of figured that because he's too small. Like his body is too small, and then he's got these
He was
long,
a small
thin wings.
figure. I can't remember the conventions that they did with Transformers, but it's like the small class, which was like the 4-inch class or something like that.
Okay, so there were scale size differentials between them. Okay.
Yeah, so
even though they kind of all look roughly the same size in the show.
Yeah, I where G1 Transformers is egregious in their size and their scaling, like whatever.
But there were we'll call them large, medium, and small Transformers. Like Bumblebee and Cliffjumper were small, Ratchet and Ironhide were kind of that mid size, and then Optimus and Megatron were the large, the grandes.
Yeah. Like there's all those classifications on size, but G1 Transformers just throws it to the window in certain scenes. Specifically, I will say like Megatron's alt form, like transformation, is just horrible.
Soundwave.
And Soundwave,
who's
yeah.
a boombox this big.
Right, yeah. That's egregious. This one they fudge it a little bit. Like Scorponok and Pterosaur, vastly different figure sizes, like about as extreme as you can get. Megatron being a larger size. But like Scorponok and Optimus Primal about the same size. I think Megatron was the largest Beast Wars line besides characters that are introduced later that I'm not going to spoil.
Megatron seems pretty big. I mean, he is a T-Rex.
He's a huge figure. I'll have to grab some of my figures for later episodes of the show from my parents' house. My kids will be big upsetty that they're not there, but we'll deal with that crossword when we get there. But there's a vast size difference.
I'm surprised you don't have them figures back there and all the stuff.
I know. I have Optimus, my Red Series Optimus and stuff like that. That's more function over form, I will say.
Oh, okay.
As much as I would love to just get out and play with my Transformers on a day-to-day basis, I don't have too many left anymore.
I got some back there. Some reissues back there on the shelf.
Nice. I would say that the updated Beast Wars toys are very delectable, and they definitely pry my wallet open on many occasions, and I just want to get a lot of them.
There's a couple that I've seen that I'm like, I was this close to buying them. Yeah. I just didn't. Again, this wasn't my show, so do I buy something that is more akin to the G1, or maybe even a later kind of modified version of that, or would I I think Rhinox was one of the ones that I looked at and went, oh, that's That's a pretty nice figure.
That's a nice figure.
Yeah.
Rhinox is such a cool kit as well, with like the double like quad barrel machine guns, and like it's a fun toy with the maces on them. Like it's just silly.
Oh, I didn't even realize he had all that. This was something. Do Dinobots poop? Does everybody poop? Because he puts them in this seemingly toilet situation, and it flushes like a toilet. Like, if you...
It's just waste disposal. There's lots of different kinds of waste.
That sounds like a toilet. So they all poop.
Everybody poops. That's the thing.
Everybody poops. I'm a child. I love...
I would say...
Sound effect. The sound effect when he lands, just this thud in the little puff of smoke is perfect. It's perfect.
I love the
Optimus Primal doing this is always funny. He's trying to put his hands on his hips. It just doesn't really work, though.
They definitely push the rigs very far in this show.
Oh, yeah. So far.
I love every scene where Dinobot and Pterosaur are interacting, because they are the two components of Starscream split into two different characters. Like,
yes, Pterosaur is definitely dumb. He seems to be an idiot.
Right, exactly.
He seems to be the idiotic version, or the idiotic side of Starscream.
Yeah, because Starscream in original G1, and I think going through this experiment with you has really highlighted how original Starscream was a really bad character. Like, he's just like kind of dumb. And later iterations give him the more conniving aspects that we see here in Dinobot. And
that right there. Sorry, that was the look that Optimus Prime was like, huh? Excuse me?
What?
What? I don't know if I like that.
And this goes...
Yes, you're not wrong there.
How impactful this show is as the earliest CGI besides Reboot for like what they could get away with in a show, because you can't do all of those facial expressions in G1 Transformers. You couldn't get away with like really like snappy, like quick moments, because you would have to do that through dialogue or through some other kind of engagement to get that same vibe across. So just something that the technology provides in this show that wasn't available to, because you see that in later iterations of G1 Transformer reboots, specifically in War Cybertron, where they have some more facial rigging on the characters, and that is a CGI product. So this set the standard for it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's definitely a lot of limitations in G1. We saw it. He didn't even have. They just were like, yeah, don't put any lip flap in there. Just let him be. And yeah, this one they added. There was more. They had to do more. I guess they kind of had to do more. I mean, a gorilla and a
raptor.
A raptor only have so much mouth movements they can do. They have to emote with their head and bodies and kind of do everything. He comes in. Okay, first off, it's on a floppy disk.
Yes.
Hilarious.
Spice.
And then he throws it like it's a disc. Like, I don't have, like, I got some sticky notes. He just
the
wings it like, he's like, yeah, no problem, I got this, and it just ricochets off and doesn't even land remotely close.
I love it. It's good. It's good storytelling.
But I guess that lends to his hubris and thinking he's hot. He's hot.
Hotshot from Transformers Armada. Almost like it's a trope that they set.
But it works. It definitely sets that up nicely. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I laughed when he just walks in and just throws it at it and just
completely biffs it. Ooh, the bluff. And again, this goes into hubris. Like, I'm just gonna bluff my way out of this. But also, I need to get in this mix.
Yeah, he just smashes them out of the way. And I was 2 seconds. I was waiting for a pterosaur just to blow up, like the Predacons take an L and lose one just for that. But I didn't think they were doing it. I was kind of hoping they would, though.
Nice.
And then this, where he just splats down. So that's a thing. Obviously, Slag was an original Dinobot, and they just used Slag as kind of a catch-all.
Yeah, swear.
Swear, I guess, yeah.
God. I also love just like, because this really does fall like Monster of the Week vibe of the era, and it's just like Cheetor like got all this set up and then ended up like, because if that bomb went off and they just blew up the set, like big win, like massive W, and he's like, oh, you know what, oops. I don't want to get gibbed.
So that was where the bad decision making on Optimus's Prime was, because, or Optimus's his decision making about that, because he didn't know Cheetor was there, but he also was like, I don't want to kill them. He's like, even though they're like, yeah, we need to destroy them or keep them at bay. Capture. There you go. But he's like, sure, send the bomb through the thing. And he made that decision, which probably wasn't the right one, against his better judgment. Like, just like sending Spike out to go on a mission that probably was going to get him killed or captured.
Well, within storytelling, we're still looking at Dinobot as a bad influence. He influenced Cheetor to like go do that stuff, and then it is also to show that like Cheetor isn't so naive that he's just susceptible to anything, but Dinobot's influence will even impact Optimus. Like it's to show how cunning he is. It's a great setup for later things. Dinobot is very manipulative, very cunning, and he is setting out to achieve very specific goals. And if he is not shown as capable of doing that, which is where he is improved on the Starscream character. Like, Starscream is like pseudo manipulative and tries to achieve specific things,
fails it a lot,
and fails a lot. So and we'll see it later with Pterosaur, like, who embodies more of the Starscream personality. And to some extent Waspinator does that as well. It just sets a lot of like, oh, I remember in G1 Transformers when those things were going on. It's a good callback, but also improving like objectively better characters as we go throughout the series of Beast Wars.
Yeah, they have that we were, like we said before, that ability to jump off from those characters, to improve on them, to tell that better story, to maybe separate out the two Starscream, to have the foil character and then the character who's more cunning, and have them play off each other. Or, I mean, like they made that little pact, and then he was like, goodbye. Send him out the toilet there.
Looking at Beast Wars and G1 Transformers, where we are in the narrative.
Yes.
As far as progression goes, I think G1 is falling into more of a serialized cable show where it's like we kind of got to rehash. We kind of retread the same ground.
So far they are. Yeah, they have at the moment.
Yeah, we're not progressing the story, where in Beast Wars early on, we're really focusing on a lot of character development, because we're only 4 episodes in, but we've gotten really good character development for almost 6 characters. We have Rat Trap, we have Tarantulas, we have Optimus Primal, we have Megatron, we have Pterosaur, Cheetor, and Dinobot. Like, that's a lot of ground covered.
I keep forgetting, I forget, and every time you say Dinobot, I'm like, they're all the guys, because we get to, that's coming up in a
the
few
Dinobots,
episodes of G1.
Grimlock and all them different characters. Dinobot
Yes,
the
Dinobot,
Raptor,
as in
Raptortron
that
or whatever. But Dinobot is
Yeah.
one of the best characters out of Beast Wars, as far as I'm concerned.
He is pretty excellent so far. I'm enjoying
like
his cunning. That he's...
The episode that got the award is focused around him, so I'm not setting groundwork for that at all.
No, not at all. But yeah, you're right. They have set up a lot of characters and development of those characters in 4 episodes, where G1 is mainly focused on Optimus and Megatron, maybe a little bit of Bumblebee, but other than that, like, it's just a matter of the warring factions, and we're kind of just moving through it, and all the other Autobots, or maybe Starscream, and I mean, we're focusing on them, but we're not getting a lot of backstory on them.
Right.
So yeah, they're just kind of there and pushing the story along, and not developing that yet. I'm assuming that happens. Again, I don't remember, so we'll have to see.
Well, we will see in future episodes of Gen Wars, where
Yes.
we are having a combative conversation about Transformers between Gen X and Millennials. We appreciate all the likes and subscribes, all of the comments. Tell us where we're wrong. Tell us where we're right. Give us your opinion. We love that. Put that down below in the comments. And you can go to the Funky Store, funky.store, where there's merch. Check all of that
merch
out. Get that merch. It helps both of our channels, Funky Games and Fire Hazard 508 Creation. So do all the things, all of the places. Keep tuned in for Gen Wars. We're expanding. We're doing a whole bunch of things with Transformers and other IPs. It's coming soon. Nick, give us the big goodbyes.
Thank you, everybody, for watching, and keep tuned in for episode 5 of both G1 and Beast Wars, and we're going to do some of the movies too, so we're going to see those soon. Thank you, everybody, and bye-bye.
Bye.